With the conclusion of episode 1085 in One Piece anime, the Straw Hat crew wraps up their adventure in Wano. Zoro, after proving his strength against the Emperors, confronted and defeated Kaido's most powerful subordinate, the Lunarian survivor King. In the heat of battle, the pirate hunter unleashed his true Haki abilities, reaching new heights as a master swordsman. In the light of this, Zoro is poised to follow the footsteps of his ancestors, the sword god Shimotsuki Ryuma. So let's take a look at the link between Zoro, Ryuma and the Shimotsuki family in One Piece. The right-hand man of the pirate king Roronoa Zoro stands as a master swordsman with the goal of surpassing Dracul Mihawk. As the second-in-command among the 11 supernovas, Zoro is widely considered the second strongest, trailing only behind Monkey D. Luffy. Zoro has been by Luffy's side from the beginning, serving as a loyal right-hand man and second-in-command. Their dynamics mirrors that of Silver Railing and Goldie Roger. Initially, Zoro threatened to end Luffy if he impeded his ambition to become world's strongest swordsman, but over time they forged a close partnership. As the only Straw Hat member somewhat comparable in power to Luffy, Zoro typically supports or defends the captain. In both Thriller Bark and Onigashima Raid, Zoro demonstrated unwavering devotion to Luffy by repeatedly risking his life to safeguard his captain. In response, Luffy reciprocates with absolute trust in Zoro's capabilities, showcasing the deep bond between the two. Zoro's combat prowess is accentuated by the ability to wield all three types of Haki, including the formidable Advanced Conqueror's Haki. This remarkable skill set propels him closer to the level required to face the legendary swordman Mihawk and his unparalleled Black Blade. As embodiment of honor and loyalty, Zoro's character trait may trace him back to the Shimotsuki ancestors. The name Shimotsuki translates to the mouth of frost in Japanese, specifically representing November. Intriguingly, Shimotsuki can also be interpreted as samurai. This connection is further emphasized by the fact that Ryuma, hailed as the greatest Shimotsuki clansman and samurai, shares a birth of November 6, while Zoro's anniversary falls on November 11, according to Oda's symbolic numberings. The visual similarities between Ryuma and Zoro are striking, differing only in the color of their hair. Wano natives Hyogoro and Kawamatsu note that Zoro's appearance and fighting style strongly resembles that of Shimotsuki Ushimaru, a descendant of Ryuma. They recognize Zoro as the rightful successor to the legendary samurai when he returns Ryuma's sword Shisui to Wano, a gesture seen as a sign of faith. Notably, Ryuma's presence extends beyond One Piece, as he also appears in the one-shot Monsters. If you want to know more about it, then make sure to check out this video where I talked about 6 different works by Eiichiro Oda which he created before starting One Piece, where this one-shot monster is also mentioned. Moving back to the video, Oda has explicitly stated that Ryuma in One Piece is the same character depicted in Monsters, solidifying its place in the One Piece canon. In Monsters, Ryuma effortlessly defeats Cyrano, a renowned swordsman, and slays Colossal Dragon, further showcasing the legendary status of the Shimotsuki samurai. Ryuma stands as a towering figure in the annals of One Piece history, potentially holding the title of the strongest swordsman to have ever lived. Centuries ago, he emerged as Wano's guardian, facing down both pirates and world nobles and safeguarding the country with singular prowess. Earning the moniker of Sword God, Ryuma became synonymous with ending battles in a single stroke, solidifying his reputation as the king, the most formidable warrior across the globe. Even Kozuki Oden, the man of immense strength who rivaled Kaido and earned respect of Roger and Whitebeard, was deemed unworthy to success Ryuma as the Wano's greatest hero. Ryuma's legendary sword Shisui achieved the status of Wano's national treasure, transformed into a permanent Black Blade, an extraordinary feat accomplished only by Mihawk, surpassing even the capabilities of Oden. Ryuma's prowess reached to such heights that he was likened to Joy Boy, drawing a direct parallel between two iconic warriors and firmly establishing the Sword God among the most powerful characters in One Piece universe. In a fascinating twist of fate, with his sights set on becoming the heir of Ryuma's legacy, mirrors the parallel between Luffy and Joy Boy. Ryuma's incredible power and renown serves as a formidable benchmark for the green-haired swordsman, pushing him to aspire to and potentially surpass the legendary swordsman. Even in death, Ryuma's legacy endures. Centuries later, his corpse was stolen and reincarnated as a formidable zombie Ryuma by Gekko Moria. Although diminished in power compared to the original, this undead incarnation proved potent enough to brutally defeat Brook. The pivotal encounter in Thriller Bark saw Zoro triumph over the zombie, earning Ryuma's respect. In the final act, before fading into obscurity, Ryuma bestowed upon Zoro his cherished sword, Shisui, a weapon that would accompany the green-haired swordsman for over 2 years before finding its way back to Wano, completing a remarkable chapter in the legacy of the sword god. Zoro's formidable techniques such as the one sword style Dragon Blaze and King of Hell 3-sword serpent Dragon Damnation draw clear inspiration from the dragon beheading slash executed by Ryuma in Monsters. The former Dragon Blaze is a haki enhanced slash of immense power, capable of inflicting serious injuries on Kaido in his colossal dragon form. Its potency even raised concerns from Big Mom upon witnessing his devastating effects. On the other hand, the latter 3-sword serpent Dragon Damnation is a technique that merges the might of Advanced Conqueror's haki and armament haki simultaneously. This formidable move crushed King's Lunarian body, resembling a magma-infused flaming dragon. In the intriguing convergence of narratives, the upcoming anime adaptation of Ryuma's story in Monsters is titled as Monsters Ipyaku Sanjiro Hiryo Jigoku, the exact Japanese name of Zoro's Dragon Damnation attack. This synchronicity further underscores the profound connection between Ryuma and Zoro's techniques. To strengthen this thematic link, the One Piece mangaka recently dedicated a color spread to the two iconic swordsmen, showcasing them alongside their Shimotsuki clansmen. This artistic homage visually emphasizes on the shared legacy and bond between Ryuma and Zoro. Delving into Zoro's Shimotsuki roots unveils a fascinating history. 55 years ago, Shimotsuki Kazaburo, a renowned swordsmith, left Wano with relatives, including the prized creation Wado Ichimonji. Settling in the East Blue, they saved locals from mountain bandits and founded Shimotsuki village. Over the generations, the Roronoa lineage emerged when Furiko, the relative of Kozaburo, became the wife of swordsman Roronoa Pinzoro. Their son Arashi married Tera, and their descendant Roronoa Zoro began training in the village's dojo. Despite being a child, Zoro displayed exceptional strength, though he was bestowed by Kuina, Kozaburo's granddaughter. Kozaburo, now aged, imparted crucial wisdoms to Zoro about the essence of blades. Years later, during the Onigashima raid, Zoro would realize the profound significance of Kozaburo's teachings, underscoring the timeless wisdom embedded in the Shimotsuki heritage. Zoro's promise with Kuina, forged their shared dream of becoming the world's strongest swordsman, took a poignant turn when tragedy struck and Kuina lost her life in a tragic accident. Honoring their pledge, Zoro sought out Kuina's father, Shimotsuki Koishiro, and requested her treasured Wado Ichimonji. Kushiro, recognizing the sincerity of Zoro's commitment, entrusted the blade to him and imparted invaluable teachings about the nature of his sword, wisdom that would later echo in Zoro's battles. In a moment of revelation during the confrontation with Mr. One, Zoro recalled Koshiro's words, understanding that a sword possesses the ability to cut everything and nothing, a concept akin to the description of advanced armament haki provided by Hyogoro to Luffy. Wado Ichimonji, symbolizing Zoro's promise to Kuina, also serves as a tangible link to the Shimotsuki clan. This connection deepens as, upon arriving in Wano, Zoro acquires Enma, another creation of Kozaburo, further intertwining his journey within the legacy of Shimotsuki clan. The Shimotsuki lineage extends through Ushimaru, Zoro's granduncle and direct descendant of the legendary Ryuma. As the daimyo of Ringo, Ushimaru displays formidable swordsmanship and haki prowess. Despite his valiant effort to resist Kaido's takeover over the Wano, he was defeated and confined to a cave. Ushimaru's unyielding spirit endured, inspiring a pivotal moment years later when he and his comrade broke free to confront Kaido, allowing the young Yamato to survive and eventually join the battle. Ushimaru's loyal fox companion Onimaru remained in Ringo, guarding graves from plunderers and gathering weapons for the inevitable conflict. The legacy of sacrifice and resilience persisted throughout the years. During the Onigashima battle, as Kaido and Big Mom prepared a joint assault, the Hakai, Zoro intercepted the blow, shielding his comrades at the cost of sustaining substantial wounds. Fueled by unwavering determination, Zoro, using his 9-sword style, Ashura, clashed with Kaido, leaving a substantial cut on the Emperor's chest. The impact left Kaido with a lasting scar, a feat unmatched by even the combined efforts of the Red Scabbards. After recovering from the intense battle with Kaido, Zoro faced King, Kaido's formidable right-hand man. Despite King's Lunarian powers and enduring multiple attacks, Zoro pressed on. A revelation unfolded as Zoro's sword Enma reacted uncontrollably. Recalling childhood teachings from Kozaburo, the sword's creator, Zoro understood that to wield a sword effectively, one must comprehend its will. Recognizing that Enma has been testing him by by draining his haki, Zoro unleashed the full extent of his power, revealing his Conqueror's haki. Zoro further showcased his potential by combining Advanced Conqueror's haki and Armament haki, unwielding the King of Hell style, a new haki-based mode. In this moment of revelation, Zoro emerged as the King of Hell, surpassing even King with his Advanced Conqueror's haki. Having unlocked the true potential of his haki and solidifying his mastery over Enma, Zoro took a significant stride towards his goal. Carrying the torch of the Shimotsuki legacy, Zoro relentlessly pursued the title of the world's strongest swordsman, standing as a pillar of his support for Luffy on his journey to become the Pirate King. What are your thoughts about this video? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. And that's it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.